Hey there, good morning, everyone. I'm late. Not the best way to get things started this morning, but I definitely needed a coffee. So that is what happened. Let us get started though. So the goal is not going to get done today, that's for sure, but let's get started working on our shader. We are going to pull it from an open source project. So I'm hoping we have all of the code available to us. just try to pull it up. The decision, at least for now, just to test things out, is to use this retro CRT shader that's up on GitHub. I mean, it also looks like it is being actively worked on because there are at least there was a commit like 8 months ago. Like, that's not terrible. Although there's also it's like 8 years old, but it has a lot of like forks, or has a lot of stars and forks. So I imagine it's something that people are using. So worth keeping around. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna try to throw that in here. And so let me do this. I think what was I last working on? I didn't commit what I was last working on. I think we did finish this. We felt good about, I don't know, well, I guess I went right into thinking about the filter. I think this is like dead code, yeah? This isn't doing anything. I'm gonna put this as like a to-do on my Kanban board. I don't want to do it now because it's a distraction for today. Clean up these lines of code. And I'll just do that later. Because I would hate to go in there and then like break something. Okay, but I think we agreed that it was this. Oh, I don't love this either. Okay. Fix the issue with the leaderboard input not showing. CRT shader. Okay, create a new branch for that. I just want the music louder in my head. Maybe louder for you guys too. Good tune. Okay. Let's create a scratch. And so we're going to implement the shader. What I have done is try to create a spec for myself. And I do find like sometimes this is where like AI can be helpful. Where it's like, here's my code, here is the open source project, here's like the documentation. So like just all this source material. And like, let's come up with a plan. Now I could probably get it to maybe even try to do an implementation, but I also want to learn. So like part of me doesn't want to just like throw it at an LLM to generate code. And also I just don't think that would work. Especially since there's probably some nuance that needs to be done in like Unity, and I don't think an LLM is good at like doing any of that. And so pretty much I asked Claude to like say, I said, hey, like, yeah, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's the open source project that I'm going to use. Here's my code, and just like give me a spec that I could use to implement this. And this is what it's kind of giving me. So let's go through it, right? So I guess it gave me a bit of a plain English, I'm an idiot, here's what I'm trying to do. Which is, I think is accurate, right? Because my main camera is looking at my gameplay object, all the things. And everything's positioned in that world space. And then what we want to do is split that into two cameras. One camera is not changing, it's the same thing, it's all the gameplay content. So one camera sees only the gameplay content and renders it into a small texture. Oh wait, that's the other one. So my one camera is doing what it's continuing to do, and then the other one is going to create the texture. So we'll create a quad sitting where the monitor screen is displays. That's a typo in the LLM. A quad sitting where the monitor screen is displaying that texture through a CRT. That's crazy. I don't often see an LLM throw a typo in its work. Yeah, the other camera sees the monitor frame, background, and that quad. But not the raw gameplay objects. Okay, interesting. The critical thing for your coordinates, because I have a bunch of things that are hard-coded and a pain in the ass and I don't want to reposition anything, is that the gameplay camera will have the exact same position, rotation, orthographic size as your current main camera. Your word positions, meter positions, start positions, none of that changes. The gameplay camera is a clone of your current camera's view, just rendering to a texture instead of the screen. So that's kind of the plan. There is a compatibility note. You are on Unity 2021. The master branch of this shader is targeting Unity 2022 plus. Uses a full screen shader graph. You don't need any of that infrastructure. You're building a unit shader graph applied to a quad, which works fine in 2021. The node layout from the repo blog post is still your reference. Okay, so there's no problem. Maybe. Hopefully. In Unity, edit project settings, tags, and layers. Add one new layer, gameplay content. Can I not copy? That's it, one layer. Everything that should appear on the monitor screen goes on this layer. Everything else stays as default. Okay. Project settings, tags, and layers, and add in the layer. Wait, is it project settings or gameplay settings? I'm so dumb. It's Friday. Project settings, tags, and layers. There it is. Why can't I see that on the left-hand side? Oh, okay. Layers. Is it a sorting layer that I want? Probably sorting layer that I want, yeah. Add one new layer of gameplay. Okay. Interesting. Gameplay content layer 2. Is that going to be a problem? I don't know. Oh, what did I do? Is Unity not showing? Okay, and then what goes on gameplay content? Word canvas, asteroid canvas, star meter objects, meter controller. So I gotta move everything. I gotta move everything to gameplay content. What stays on default? The monitor frame sprites. The background, the CRT screen quad will create this. Any UI that's meant to be outside of the monitor. Okay. I mean, I would think it's everything in the canvas, yeah? Oh no, it said except for... I might have to like split this sprite up. Oh yeah, no, that's not in the layer. Okay, so add layer. Gameplay. content. I don't think this is right. Gameplay content, user layer 3. Gameplay content, sure. Let's do select children. Let's do layer gameplay content. Yes, change children. God, this is scary. Okay. There's probably some dynamically generated stuff that I need to probably also do, but we'll see. Okay, create the render texture. Create the render texture. So project panel, right click, create render texture. We'll name it gameplay RT, sure. Render texture. There, get a folder. Create render texture. Where is render texture? Okay. We're definitely committed now. 480, why? Okay. 480 by 270. Why so small? By 270. Color format. Something unorm. I think that looks right. R8G8B R8G8B8A8 R8G8B8A, okay, unorm. Depth buffer 16 bits. Depth buffer. I don't really see a depth buffer. What else? Filter mode point. This is your retro pixelation for free. Filter mode point. And wrap mode clamp. Okay. Step 3. Set up your gameplay camera. Duplicate your main camera's settings. The gameplay camera needs to see exactly what your current camera sees. Look at your current main camera in the inspector and note. Can't I just duplicate it? Surely I could just like duplicate the camera, yeah? Okay, and then I'm going to set the target texture to, what should I call it? Like gameplay camera? Rename. Gameplay camera? And that is going to have a, so target texture is my new gameplay texture. Calling mask is only gameplay content. Interesting, okay. Calling mask, only the, let's go nothing and then go gameplay content. Remove the audio listener. Yeah, okay. Then on the original main camera, uncheck gameplay content from its calling mask. Okay. All right. Now I don't see anything. That's cool. And that's probably why I'm going to need to like cut out the monitor. Oh no, I do have the monitor cut out. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay, hold on. Do I not? Yeah, no, I do. Okay, so this could be default. I know I have this asset, so background without screen. All my coordinates are so bonkers, man. All right, that is good. This I could then, let's just remove this completely. This is now default. Why can't I see it? All right, I could see it, but it's because the screen is... Okay, yeah, that's what I want, because then I'm going to put... It's this screen cutout. No? Jesus Christ. Where is all my stuff? Background without screen. Yeah. Where's my background? Where's my screen? Save. I know it's in scene level 1. It's in here. Background? Is this it? Background without screen. What's it called? Background 2. Okay. Type in Stars Computer Background 2. Beautiful name. Let's see. Start. Background 2. So let's go canvas right here. Background 2. No. How do I... Oh. I guess I just layer it. So maybe I put this on the gameplay content layer. Order in layer 0, 0. Hold on, let me see. Okay, well, maybe this will work. So let's just fingers crossed for now, and if I need to do something else, I'll see. But what we should see in our gameplay camera right now is a black screen where the CRT is, but everything else. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of what I'm expecting, because I'm hoping that I could then just put that shader within the screen, and that would be dope. I mean, I don't know if we're making progress, but it feels like we're making progress, right? Update your main camera. Right, everything else stays the same. Keep the camera zoom in sync. Your camera movement currently changes the main camera's orthographic size each level. The gameplay camera needs to zoom the same way so that the framing stays consistent. Simplest approach. Modify. I don't think I have to. Do I have to do that? Gameplay handler. Sorry, main camera has a camera movement. I have a camera movement script for both of these. No, I don't think I need to do that. I could be wrong, but I don't think I need to do 3D because the script is on both cameras, so it should be working on both cameras. Pretty sure. That's why being a human in the loop sometimes is important. That is not this is not something that I need to do. Keep the camera in sync. Okay, now we're gonna do the fun stuff. Project panel, create shader graph, URP, unlit shader graph. We'll call it unlit shader graph. No, we're gonna call it CRT monitor, shader graph, URP. Create shader graph, URP, unlit shader graph. Okay, so everything so far has been leading up to this. Shader, unlit shader graph. Unlit shader. Here's shader. I might not have shader graph. Is that the problem with my version? Create shader graph. Yeah, I don't see a... That might be a problem. Okay, that might be a problem. Okay, so I just need to install the package. So let's see here. Let me just go desktop for you guys so you can see it. We go window. We go, what is it? Package. Windows Package Manager. And then we do a search for the shader. Shader graph. Alright, we'll install that. Sorry, I clicked on Unity and it switched, but installing it. Okay, I think that's unfortunately where we're going to have to leave off. But we will. I'm going to have to continue this offline. I think. I do have an idea for like a YouTube video on this, and so hopefully there's something interesting that I could share at some point. About the process. All right, let's just double check that I could do a create. And is there now a shader graph? Yeah, there's shader graph. Okay, built in. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's good. So I think we're kind of making some progress, which is nice. But I'm out of time. And I need to get to work because I have a ton of shit on my plate before I call it a weekend. We are going to go raid Le Ginger Dev. It's been a moment since I've seen him.
This is my.
This game is looking dope. Dope raid. All right, thank you for hanging out with me. Have yourselves a good weekend. I will see you on Monday, hopefully. But don't cross your fingers too hard. That we'll have something working by the time I see you guys again. Alrighty, I'm out of here. Bye now.
Oh, I gotta put that yet.